The following program contains professional and amateur video of real events. No actors or recreations have been used. Only the actual people involved have been interviewed. These are the true stories of significant moments in their lives. Tonight on Eyewitness Video.
God, it's flipping. Look at that.
Follow in the tracks of amateur storm chasers as they battle ferocious winds in a hurricane.
If a hurricane chaser has 9 lives, I think I went through 4 of those lives in Hugo.
Then it's another kind of chase as American cops take on an escapee from down under. Plus, customers barely escape as a drive-through drunk hits a fast food restaurant. And finally, a child's family stands by helplessly after he falls into a cage of wild gorillas.
The gorilla walked over to the little boy that was unconscious on the ground. And it was really a shock to know that this massive animal was leaning over this little boy.
Real people caught in real events, sharing their personal moments of triumph, achievement, and courage.
Good evening and welcome. In the past, Eyewitness Video has presented many stories of ordinary people trapped by the uncontrollable power of nature. We've met individuals caught in these freak encounters with fire and flood, earthquake and avalanche. And we've relived their moments of fear. Well, tonight, you're going to experience another kind of encounter with nature, one that is not accidental, but planned. As you're about to see, there are people in this world who are actually enjoying risking their lives for the excitement of a storm. They're called storm chasers. And we're going to join 5 of them now as they pursue a major hurricane. It will prove to be the most dangerous chase of their lives.
Hurricane Hugo was an intense hurricane, the strongest I had ever considered chasing. It was really neat because here the whole group, small limited group of those of us who chase hurricanes basically had converged.
It was pretty much a reunion with 5 of us hurricane chasers. And you know, some people say, well, you know, you're nuts. And really, we're just normal people that do maybe one thing that's a little bit unusual.
And it's not like we need a club or we need to meet at any specific time. We know when it's time and we all converged. Hugo was a very unique storm. We watched it evolve. Then it just became a matter of where are we going to go. We had basically narrowed it down to a few islands in the northeastern Caribbean, and Puerto Rico became the final destination point.
This might be our only chance to see a hurricane this year, as all the storms were moving away from the United States. The 5 of us took the same plane and flew to Puerto Rico, and in 2 cars, took off in tandem the day before the storm.
Our goal is to, try to get in the eye of the storm and, see the worst the storm has to offer. Chasing hurricanes in an island is very risky because it can turn just a slight amount and miss the island entirely, and you invested a lot of time and money into going to that island and not seeing the hurricane at all. I've always been fascinated by thunderstorms, real high winds, a lot of lightning and all that. Then Hurricane Donna came along, and that just, the winds were so awesome to experience. I was 10 years old at the time, 1960.
I was 13 years old. An anxiety and a fear and a fascination all came together at the same time. And I remember watching through the window at the front of the house, the winds increased tremendously. The banana trees went with an interesting crack. The rain was coming horizontally. It just all excited me. I'd read about it for years, and I'm seeing it happen. I loved it.
To chase hurricanes, we will move from town to town to witness the most ferocious winds. Moving around in a hurricane can not only be difficult, but obviously very dangerous.
This is the part that people say, you must be nuts to do this. You could be going down the road and actually have a tree blow over and fall right on your vehicle. You could have power lines that are on the ground, power lines that have partially fallen, and you've always got that decision, am I going to drive underneath this power line? That's a scary one. Sometimes a road surface can even be intact, yet underneath it's been eroded. My worst experience in a hurricane came with a situation like that. Hurricane Kate back in 1985, my truck went through the road. The truck and I went down into a big pool of salt water. Pretty soon the whole truck was underwater. So this was some scary, scary stuff, but once you're there, you're beyond the point of being scared. You're engaged in combat.
It's a type of brinkmanship where you're always on the edge of danger. Being a part of the storm is a major portion of the fascination. I feel like I have a power maybe when I'm in the hurricane. I feel the strong winds blowing and it exhilarates me.
At some point, you have to get out and experience the storm.